The broadcast is now starting. Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to today's role-play session with your host, James McDonald.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, and I'd like to welcome our participants to our role-play session here today, our favorite time of the week. And let's take as many volunteers as we can. I want to remind everybody that tomorrow, of course, is our marketing session. So I know you have ads, and you know that you can upload those ads so that Craig can take a look at them live on the webinar tomorrow. So make sure that you do that. The more ads we have to look at, the better. I don't care if they're print ads, if they're online, direct mail, maybe your signage, any lead generation source at all, we can take a look at. Maybe you have landing pages that you've customized that you'd like Craig to take a look at. You can upload whatever you want. Just take a screenshot, upload it, and tomorrow on the Marketing Clinic, we will take a look at any and everything that is sent our way. So please make an effort to do that, especially what is working well. You know, not just what isn't, but what is working well, so that we can share that with everyone else, and we can sort of plus it, for lack of a better word, and make it even more effective, perhaps. Okay, now today is our role-playing session, so I would imagine that plenty of you would like to volunteer to do some role-playing with me using the universal script. And what I wanted to talk about this morning, just to get the get the juices flowing before we started, I wanted to address a question that was asked of me this week that I discussed with one of our coaching members, and it had to do with booking an appointment with somebody that wasn't qualified. All right, so in other words, they're running a buyer ad, and it's generating buyers because they're offering what is essentially a free list of great deals. All right, must sell, I think it was, distressed sales, bank foreclosures. There's no doubt it generates leads. So when you run an ad that offers a free list of great deals, buyers come out of the woodwork because they're looking for a great deal. And some of those buyers, of course, fall into different categories. Some of them want a great deal that doesn't exist. Some of them have a pie-in-the-sky idea that they can get something for nothing. Some of them are ill-qualified and have no money. And, you know, it goes on and on. And now, within there are also some bona fide great buyers that would be great to work with. Here's the thing, though. Your universal script has to be effective in doing its job, which is to determine accurately the timing and motivation and qualification of that prospect. So this is what I want to suggest, okay? We're going to base, to a degree, on the campaign how far we go in determining how realistic the prospect is, all right? So here's what I mean by that. If you're running an ad that offers find out what your Beverly Hills home is worth online, you can bet that anyone that responds to that owns a home in Beverly Hills, you don't need to concern yourself with their financial qualification. And maybe once in a blue moon you're going to meet somebody that doesn't qualify, but it would be very, very rare based on the campaign. If you run an ad that says free list of upscale country club homes starting at $850 and up, free list with pictures, you're just by virtue of what you're offering, you are going to be attracting a higher quality of prospect. And what you're going to find is that when you book appointments, it would be the very rare exception to the rule that you would have somebody that doesn't qualify. Okay, so we don't need to ask intrusive qualifying questions if the rule is they always qualify. However, when you run an ad that says less than rent, a free list of properties that carry for less than rent with as little as no money down, you are now reaching in to the realm of buyers whereby you may find that there are a great number of them that when the rubber hits the road aren't in a position that they're going to be able to purchase a property right now today. And if you start booking appointments with them, that's okay, it's great, it's good practice, but after a while, if you're busy, it becomes a waste of your time. So here's the point. Question is, how do we determine their financial qualification using the universal script? And the answer is this. First of all, we're going to ask all of the questions that are in the universal script. You're planning on making a move, where are you planning on going, you rent, you own, realtor to help you when the time is right. All of those kinds of questions that encourage the prospect to elaborate on their moving plans. Okay, then, if we have established that they are actively looking for properties in the area right now. They're actively looking around. And we know we've got a better way for them to look, so we make them our buyer offer. And we say, look, would you like me to email you every day all the best deals from all the different real estate companies, all the properties on MLS, all the great distress sales, bank foreclosures, etc. Every day as they come on the market, before the other buyers know about them, they'll be sitting in your email inbox. It's free. There's no obligation. Would that be helpful for you? Yes. We book an appointment. Okay, now here's the trick. When we book the appointment with that kind of a prospect, that kind of a shaky, we don't know if they're going to qualify prospect, once the appointment is booked, then we're going to ask them some very simple questions. For example, you mentioned that you were looking in a certain price point for your property. How did you arrive at that price point? Have you been pre-qualified for a home loan? And just shut up. Yes or no, right? How did you arrive at that price range? Have you been pre-qualified? Yes, we have. Great, see you tomorrow night. Nothing further here. Nothing further to discuss. The appointment is set. Maybe they say something like this, no, we haven't been pre-qualified, but I'm just basing it on what we can afford and what our income is. Okay, well, do you have a down payment available for your home purchase? Okay, so what would they say to that? Yes or no? Yeah, we do. We have, we have $30,000, whatever it is. So there are questions that we can ask after we've set the appointment. Okay, now, so let's say that this prospect says, no, the reason I responded to the ad is we were really hoping to find something without any money down or very little down, that we could afford, and this looked like a really good deal. Okay, so let's say that you've established that this person that you've booked an appointment with is not going to qualify. And they are going to take up your time, but it's going to be for naught because they are not going to qualify. And you're satisfied of that they're not going to qualify. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to undo the appointment. Hey, Mr. Smith, the reason for our appointment tomorrow night is so that I can pinpoint the properties that you're looking for and make sure that we only search out and send you those properties that perfectly match what you're looking for. The problem we have is this. We really don't know what properties we should be looking for because we don't know how much home you can afford. So before we determine what properties we ought to be sending you and sending properties that are way out of your price range, instead what we need to do first is determine what is your price range. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to postpone the appointment for tomorrow night, and I'm going to get you in touch with one of my lender affiliates who does a really good job working with buyers who are buying first-time properties or maybe need a little bit of financial creativity. They're going to give you a call, and they're going to work with you, and then they're going to figure out exactly how much home we can afford and get you pre-qualified. Then we'll book an appointment, and then we'll know exactly what we should be looking for. Does that sound fair? Right? Here's what Craig always says. It's way easier to undo an appointment that's booked than to do the appointment in the first place. In other words, if you ask those questions first, it can make the prospect very uncomfortable, even one that is qualified, and then it makes it way harder to book the appointment. So the way to do it is book the appointment first. Then if you feel like this is a prospect where I feel like they're not going to qualify, they're in no danger of buying anything, then after the appointment is booked, you can ask them a couple qualifying questions. Do you have a cash down payment? Have you been pre-qualified? What's your credit history look like? What's your combined household income? Don't pepper them with all of those questions, but ask them one at a time. And if the first question is, have you been how did you arrive at your price range? Have you been pre-qualified? And they say, well, no, we haven't been pre-qualified yet, but we have, we know that we're making about $5,500 a month, so that's how we arrived at that. You say, great, we'll see you tomorrow night. Right? That's not a red flag. It's like, great, I can work with that. We'll see. But if they say, oh, well, I don't know. I mean, we haven't thought about that, and it's not something that we've done yet. Okay, well, do you have a cash down payment available? No, we don't. What does your credit history look like? Well, I had a bankruptcy a little while ago, and my wife's not working right now. She was laid off. It's like, well, red flag. You undo the appointment. Undo the appointment right away. It's easy to undo the appointment, right? The reason for the appointment is to figure out what you're looking for. You don't know what you're looking for because you have no clue what you can afford. That's true. We're not saying anything that isn't true. The appointment would be a waste of everybody's time. So it's easy to undo the appointment in that circumstance. Okay, so that was a question that that I addressed with one of our members this week, and just did again. So hopefully that's helpful for everybody. Okay, now, Andrea, let's take any questions in the chat. Let's take any volunteers that want to do some role playing, and we'll just take as many as time permits.
Okay, if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click the hand icon you see at the top of your webinar control panel. You must have a working mic or be on the telephone to role play. You can also type, "I would like to role play," or any questions or comments you may have in the chat box.
So a non-working mic will not work then?
Right. If it doesn't work, it won't work.
Check that. It's got to be a working mic. Cannot be a not working mic. Good?
That's right. I guess I need to change my script. Thanks.
All right, so who we got?
We have Victor Chikuti. Your mic is now open. Victor?
What's your Victor? Uh-oh.
It sounds like
Victor does not have a working mic.
Well, I can hear something in the background, but it sounds like he may be having some business. So, Victor, let us know when you're back and ready. We will go with Sandy Casella. Your mic is now open.
Hello, Sandra. Oh, dear.
We are not off to a very good start this morning.
We're having
Hello.
Sandy,
Hello?
there you go.
There you
Hi.
are.
Sorry, I had to unmute my working mic. There you go.
How are you today, Sandy?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Oh, great. Okay, so what would you like to do this morning?
I would like to do a sign call.
Okay. Ring, ring. Hey, is Sandy there, please?
Speaking. This is
Hi,
Sandy.
Sandy. Hey, Sandy. I'm looking at 123 Maple Street here, and I'm just wondering how many bedrooms and what the listed price is on this property.
Oh, hi. Who am I speaking to?
It's James.
Oh, hi, James. Are you calling for yourself or are you calling for someone else?
Yeah, no, I'm calling for myself.
Okay, and you're at 123 Main Street. So it's 3 bedrooms and it's $459. Are you planning to move in the next 3 to 6 months, James?
Well, I don't know. I'm just looking around right now. It's a thought.
Okay. Are you renting right now or do you own the house you live in?
Yeah, no, we live sort of 2 neighborhoods over.
Oh, okay. And if you do move, are you well, obviously you're planning to stay in the same area if you're looking at that house there. Do you have a real estate agent that's helping you?
We're not at that point yet, honestly. We're just, I've called on a couple properties that I've seen, but, nothing, we're just not at that point yet.
Okay, James. If you did move, would you hope to sell your house first and then buy something, or would you like to buy something first and then sell your house?
Yeah, we definitely want to find something first before we go and do that.
Okay. Would you like me to email you every day all the properties that match what you're looking for from all the real estate companies? And it would include any bank foreclosures and company-owned properties, some off-market properties as well. It's a free service, and it doesn't obligate you to buy anything. Would that interest you?
Yeah, no, I think that would be helpful. I mean, I don't know if we're in a position to buy something, immediately, that's for sure. But yeah, no, I guess that would be okay. I do have another realtor that's emailing me properties, and I do go on to, I've got the Trulia app on my phone as well, so I check that out. So, I mean, I'm probably getting all these properties as it is.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what you would be getting from Trulia, but the properties that I would be sending you would include the listings from all real estate companies. It would also include some off-market properties, for sale by owner properties, distress sales, some other good deals that you wouldn't be able to find on the internet. Do you think that would be helpful? Would that help you at all?
Sure, it would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, over the next couple of days, would you have 15 or 20 minutes we can get together and I can get a really good idea of what you're looking for, and then I can have those properties sent to you as soon as they become available?
Well, I could, I'll tell you what, if you give me your email, I can send you an email with, all the details of what we're kind of looking for.
Okay, you know what, I want to do a really good job for you. So if, I don't want to send you just a bunch of properties that may or may not match what you're looking for, because what will happen is you'll probably look at them for a few days, and then if they don't interest you, you'll stop looking at those, and then you may miss out on the perfect one. So if we can get together, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, it doesn't take too long, we could meet at your house or at my office, whatever is convenient for you. And then I can get those over to you as soon as they become available. It's a free service. It doesn't obligate you to anything. Do you think you would reconsider a short meeting?
Yeah. Let me speak with my wife, and I'm sure we can do that. That sounds reasonable. I just want you to understand that we're probably not in a position to buy something immediately, though.
Okay, so if you did find the perfect house, would you buy the property, or would you have to wait at that point?
Well, if we found it today, it'd be a real stretch, but you know, probably not. Probably wouldn't be immediately, but you never know.
Okay, so if we
could work it out, we would, but it would seem like a real rush job.
Okay, and so what do your timelines look like? If you did move, when do you think that might be?
Well, we'd certainly like to do it this year. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it this year. So, within the next few months, I suppose.
Okay. Okay, so when would be a good time to set up an appointment? What we could do, since we're both on the phone, we can set up something tentatively, and then you can talk to your wife. If it doesn't work, you can always switch it.
Okay. Well, evenings is probably best.
Evenings, okay. Do you have some time tonight at 6 o'clock, or would 8 o'clock be better?
Tonight's not really very good. Tomorrow would be better, or Monday.
Okay. Tomorrow at 6 or tomorrow at 8, which would be better for you?
6 is fine. 6,
okay. And I can meet you at your house if you would like to give me your address.
Okay. Yeah. And it's 22222. Whatever. Okay. So, all right. So we booked the appointment. Now, here's a couple things. First of all, right. So, the very, very beginning of the call, when the prospect asked for information, what everyone will notice is Sandy followed Craig's script, which asked the question, "Are you looking for yourself?" And that was something that Craig sort of stumbled upon himself, because what he found was that when a prospect says they're not looking for themselves, it never goes anywhere. And it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. When they're not looking for themselves and they say they're not looking for themselves, his experience with thousands of sign calls was it never went anywhere, so he cut it short. Okay, so that was great, but here's what you might want to do, okay? It is reasonable to the prospect that you might need to take a second to pull up the information about the property at 123 Maple Street. It is reasonable. I'm not talking about leaving them for minutes at a time, but here's the thing. If the prospect disqualifies the property and you give them all the information immediately without asking them any qualifying questions, it wouldn't be unreasonable that a large segment of prospects would say, "Okay, thanks, that's all I needed. Thanks, Sandy, bye now." And they hang up because they've disqualified the property. They don't want a 3-bedroom and they don't want 450. So they disqualify the property and they immediately move on. So here's what you might want to do, okay? And all we're doing is we're just buying a little bit of time and giving ourselves the opportunity to ask a couple qualifying questions. Remember, on the phone, we want to determine the timing and motivation. How good is this prospect? So it goes like this. "Hey, Sandy, you said 123 Maple Street. Let me just take a second here. I'll pull up that information on that property here so you can have all the details. By the way, are you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months? If you were to make a move, would you only be interested in this area?" And this is, by the way, that you want to phrase this question. It says, "Do you want to stay in the area and move out of the area?" Okay, in this circumstance, here's how you want to ask that question. "Sandy, are you only interested in homes in this neighborhood, or are you open to homes in other neighborhoods as well?" Remember the purpose of the question. The purpose of the question is to get the prospect to elaborate and share their moving plans with you. All we want to know is we want them to talk. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Where are you looking? That's what we want. So whether we say you're planning on staying in the area and moving out of the area, well, yeah, you're right. It's obvious they're planning on staying in the area. But could we say this? Are you only interested in this neighborhood, or are there other neighborhoods you're looking at as well? That question really encourages the prospect to elaborate. The more you know about the prospect, the better you know how good they are. Okay, now, they answer that question, then we can say, okay, that property that you're looking at right now, it's a 3-bedroom, it's in the 450 price range. Do you own the home you live in right now, or are you currently renting? You're kind of trading off information. Okay, now, don't get me wrong. I would give you a 9 out of 10 on that script. I'm just pointing out little details that I believe will help you. Okay, now,
Okay.
this is the biggest suggestion that I have for you. When you make your buyer offer, I assure you that the buyer is not hearing at least half of the things that you're saying, because it's way too fast and there's way too much. So in other words, you got to listen back at yourself. Okay, listen back to yourself after we get off the webinar here. And what you're going to hear is, you are laundry listing all of the kinds of properties. We've got, pocket listings and, foreclosure properties. And you go through this list, but it's extremely quick. And every one of the things that you're mentioning is a really, it gives the perception of a great deal. But when it's all jumbled together like that, really, you've really sped through it, I assure you the prospect isn't hearing any of it. And then what caps it off is at the end, you do not mention that there's no cost or obligation attached to it. Okay, so remember this, the prospect isn't going to want what you're offering if they don't understand it. Right? They're just not. I don't even know what you're offering me, so I guess the answer is no. So we got to slow way down on that. And if we get really, really good at this, we can use whatever it is that they're doing now to help us. Like, for example, I might have a nice, calm conversation with you. You were calling on my property at 123 Maple Street, and I could say this. Hey, Sandy, you mentioned that you're, you look around and call off the signs from time to time when you see homes in the neighborhood that you like. If I emailed you the moment that a new property is available for sale in the areas and price range, et cetera, that are of interest to you, would you find that helpful? I can do that for you for free. What I'll also include are all of the hard-to-find deals. From time to time, there might be a bank foreclosure or a private sale, a company-owned listing, a property that has come back on the market after being taken off the market. As long as the property matches what you and your family are looking for, I will make sure that you're the first person to know about that property. It'll be sitting in your email inbox for free. Would you find that helpful for your search, Sandy?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds better.
Just really calm and very concise. I'm hitting on all the points. But here's my thing. I know that if the prospect doesn't understand what I'm offering, they're not going to say yes. And even if they do say yes, they're just not going to show up for an appointment. So I think that's the one thing, if I'm not nitpicking, the one thing that you need to work on is just really slowing down and making sure your mind at ease. We could say things like this. Hey, Sandy, you know what? Even if you're going to be spending months looking at properties before you're actually ready to make your move, in earnest, that's perfectly okay. But having access to all of the properties that are of interest to you is really important. And that's what I'm proposing I do, is make sure that all of the especially hard to find deals are sitting in your email inbox as soon as they come on the market. And the best part is it is free. There's no obligation to buy anything, and I can get you set up on that quickly. Would that be helpful for you? Prospect is going to say yes. And here's the thing. Not only are they going to say yes, but they're going to feel really good about it, because it's almost like you've told them you understand where they're at. You get them. You understand it. They're just looking right now. They're not buying anything right now. And that's perfectly okay. But if they're looking, they're going to find another realtor eventually. And if they find another realtor, it ain't you. So since they're looking, we might as well help them look and get them into the office, compel them to hire us, and go from there. So anyway, I really appreciate you volunteering, because that was quite good. And I have very, very little suggestions for you other than that, but I hope you find that helpful.
Yes, thank you, James.
Our next guest is Stephen Chen. Your mic is now open.
Hello.
Hello, Stephen.
Hi, good morning, James.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. What would you like to do?
I would like to do the editorial ad that I ran for costly home seller mistake.
Costly home seller mistakes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, ring, ring. Hello.
Is James there?
Yeah. Who's this?
Hi, James. This is Stephen Chen with Keller Williams Realty, and the reason I'm calling is because I received your request for the costly home seller mistake information you wanted, and I have prepared that and sent it in the mail to you. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you folks planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months?
We're thinking about it.
Okay. If you were to move, would you be staying in the same area or move out of the area?
No, we're probably just gonna rent for a while.
Okay. And when do you think that might be?
We're just getting the ball rolling on it now. So we're just starting. We're just starting to consider it.
Okay. Do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right?
No, not really. I think my wife knows of somebody, but no one in particular.
Okay. And would you prefer to buy before listing your home, or do you want it to sell first?
No, we're probably. I'm probably just gonna rent.
Okay. Would it be okay if I do a free market evaluation to determine what your home will sell for? Also, I can give you tips on what to do and what not to do to sell your home for the most amount of money, and we can go over all various closing costs that were incurred so you would know exactly what you have left in your pocket after all expenses. It's free of charge and obligate you to nothing. Does that sound helpful?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'd like an evaluation. I guess that would be good if there's no cost to it. We're probably not going to list our home right away, but we might. So anyway, yeah, that would be good if you could do that.
Okay. When's a good time to get together, days or evening?
Probably evenings, anytime after 6 during the week.
Okay. How is tonight at 6 o'clock? I can come over and give you a free evaluation.
Yeah, okay. Tonight would be fine. Actually, you know what? Let me check with my wife. If that's no good, I'll give you a call back.
Okay, perfect. I have your address down here, so if nothing's changed, I'll see you and your wife 6 o'clock tonight.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so here's your deal. First of all, number one, you got to get to the point where you're not reading. That's number one. Telemarketers read, experts don't. They know their stuff. So there's a learning curve. I get that. But the more you do it, the more it will become ingrained. So I would work on that, Stephen. Just work on internalizing the script so you don't need to read it in order to say what it needs to say. Okay, that makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, so that's one thing. Now the other thing is this, and this kind of goes hand in hand with that, is you have to you have to listen to the answers of the prospect. All right. And I say that because I told you that we were probably going to rent. See, here's where I was going with this. What I was pretending was that the reason that we were going to sell is because it was a divorce. All right. So, and that's not uncommon. And so if it's a divorce, then this is something that, it's a bit of a difficult situation. But I said that probably just rent for a little while. And then you went on to ask me, would you prefer to look for your next home, as if I was purchasing, would I like to buy before I list, after I've already told you I wasn't buying, I was renting. So, and now what can happen is the prospect can kind of feel like, well, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're not even listening. So we got to be really careful of that. Listening to the prospect is really important. You know, hearing what the prospect says is extremely, extremely important. So we've got to make sure that we're listening to what they're saying when we're asking our qualified questions. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so those are the two things you need to work on. But the biggest one by far is we've got to get beyond reading the script. I'll tell you what, reading the script and saying the right things is good. It's better than winging it and saying the wrong things. But where you want to be with this is you want to have internalized this to the point where you know it beyond off by heart. I mean, it's part of you. So keep working on that. Okay, thanks, Stephen. Who's next, Andrea?
Our next guest, Victor, is back. So, Victor Chikati, your mic is now open.
Yes, hello.
Hello, Victor.
How are you, James?
I'm excellent. How are you today?
Can't complain.
Good. What would you like to do today?
Your buyer called me on a foreclosure ad that I had in Kijiji.
Okay. So, ring, ring. Hello.
Hello, is James there, please?
This is James.
James, it's Victor here from Remax Hallmark. How are you this morning?
I've got to be honest. I'm right in the middle of something. I'm just rushing around getting the kids ready. Can you give me a call back maybe in an hour?
James, just quickly, just calling back to...
Hey, wait, let me just stop you right there. Do you see how bad that is?
I knew you were going to take me there.
But did you see? Okay, so here's the thing. The purpose of the introduction is to elicit a reaction of appreciation. It's to get the prospect to say thank you. Because if they say thank you, it makes the rest of the call so much easier. I didn't say thank you. What I told you is, Victor, how am I doing? I'm glad you asked. You're a realtor. You're a salesperson calling me in the morning. You're a pain in my butt. Not well. You didn't get a thank you out of me. And you know why you didn't get a thank you? Because you didn't follow the script. I am telling you, there's not one part of the script that was thrown in there without any thought. Every single part of the script to the syllable is there for a reason. So when the prospect answers the phone, we have to go through the entire introduction as it's written, because if we don't, that is exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to say thank you to you, and they're not going to feel appreciation, because all they know about you is you're a salesperson calling me in the morning. That's all they know. And you know what we do as salespeople that calls to the phone? Hang up on them. Okay, so let's try that again. Ring, ring. Hello.
Hello, is James there, please?
Yeah, this is James.
James, it's Victor from Remax Hallmark. I'm just calling in response to your request for the information you requested on the power of sale foreclosure properties.
Okay.
I just want to let you know we sent that off to you. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Now, are you looking to make a move between 3 to 6 months, James?
We're thinking about it. Yeah, we're looking.
So you presently own or rent right now?
We're renting.
And are you looking to stay in the area you're in or moving out of the area, James?
No, we're staying in the area. We both work in the area. So yeah, we're thinking about. We're looking for a townhome.
Okay.
Is probably what we'll end up doing.
And do you have an agent to help you for when the time is right, James?
We've met a couple agents that have sent us some properties, and we had one that showed us a property, but I mean, we haven't signed anything.
Okay.
My in-laws told me not to sign anything with anybody, so yeah, that's sort of where we're at.
Now, James, would you also like me to email you daily updates of homes that match your home buying criteria from all real estate companies? My list will include all the bank foreclosures, our in-house exclusive properties, distress sales, and properties that you can't find on the internet. It's a free service, and of course, you're never obligated to buy. Would that help you, James?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Now, when can we get together for about 20 minutes just to take down exactly what you're looking for, James? Could do days, afternoons?
Yeah, we could probably do. Can we do the weekend?
Sure.
Okay.
1 o'clock a day, James?
And what are we meeting for again?
We're meeting for just the daily updates of homes that will match your home buying criteria. Like I said, it's a free service, and you're not obligated to buy, James.
I see. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So anytime Saturday after 10 a.m.
Saturday after 10 a.m.?
Yes,
I'll
please.
tell you down here, James, you're going to be seeing a confirmation email coming at you. Okay? And
All right.
if you have any questions, obviously my contact information is on there. But I just want to reiterate, James, this is no pressure tactic, no pressure call. Just to let you know that we will help you find the right properties, give you the right information to assist you in finding you the right home. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you. See you Saturday, James.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. First of all, in your introduction, I know we just talked about this, but don't pause. Don't just. I know it's if you're used to doing it a certain way, but really, really, really try this. Okay. In one foul swoop, you want to get the whole thing out. It doesn't need to be quick, but you cannot take a break without completing your thought. Okay, you got to complete the whole thought, and it's this. Hey, Victor, it's James with Craig Proctor's office at Remax Omega. The reason I'm calling is I received your request for the free list of distressed sale bank foreclosures on my website. Just wanted to give you a quick courtesy call and let you know the information has been sent out to you. I hope that's okay, Victor.
Yes.
You got to finish it off with that. I hope that's okay, Victor, because you are going to say thank you to that or great, or there is going to be some appreciation. But if you do it any other way, it's likely that the prospect won't say anything remotely regarding thank you. And that makes the rest of the call more awkward. When the prospect says thank you, it makes the rest of the call so much easier. So the intro, man, it is so important. It's so much more important than, especially when you're first introduced to the universal callback script. Our students don't understand how vital the intro is. Okay, so let's move beyond that though. The other thing that I want you to do is when you're describing the buyer offer, really make sure you're putting an emphasis on daily emails. Even if that means you need to say it a couple of times, we really want the prospect to paint a mental picture of what this is going to look like if they accept it. In other words, here's the mental picture. Every day, I will email you all of the properties that match your home buying criteria from all the different real estate companies as they come on the market. I'm also going to include right in your email inbox every day all the bank foreclosures, company-owned, distress sales, all the hard-to-find deals. I'll email them to you the day they come on the market. It's free. There's no obligation. Would you find that helpful?
Yes.
Yes. And it's here's why. I've said it very carefully and concisely so that I know the prospect understands exactly how this is going to look. Remember, over the phone, all we can do is paint a picture with our words. So if the prospect doesn't understand, if they don't really get it, like, okay, so what are you going to do? You're mailing me a list or something? It's over. They're not going to. They're going to say no, or they're not going to show up, or they're not going to want it. This is critical. We have to compel the prospect to want what we're offering, and the only way that's going to happen is if we do a really good, clear, concise job of describing how this will look if they say yes. Here's how this looks. You get up in the morning, and as you always do, you check your email inbox. In your email inbox will sit any brand new properties that have come on the market that match exactly what you're looking for, including and especially the really hard to find deals that have hit the market, like distress sales, bank foreclosures, private listings. If they match what you're looking for, the moment they came on the market, you're going to find them sitting in your email inbox. The best part, Victor, it's absolutely free and there's no obligation to buy a home. Would that be of interest to you? What do you think they'd say to that?
Always say yes.
They'd say, "Hells yeah," right? So this is how we need to slow down a little bit when we're making the offer to make sure the prospect understands that what we're proposing isn't that we send them a list. A list sounds like a one-time thing. What we want them to understand is this is daily. So the word daily in there isn't emphasized as much as it really needs to be sometimes. So I want you to pay special focus on that the next few follow-up calls that you make.
Yes, and I also stress as they excuse me, as they get listed.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Make the prospect in their heads paint a picture of what this will look like if they take you up on it.
Yeah, because some of them will divert to, well, I can find that myself, or I'm already getting that, right? So.
Exactly. Well, here's the danger is if they think that, but they don't voice it, you know what they say instead? Oh, no, we're good for now. Right?
Yeah.
Like we assume that the prospect is going to say, well, I'm already getting that, or yes, I'm already going online. But here's the thing, most prospects aren't going to say that. They're just going to say this, no thanks. Right?
Yep.
Like, no. They're just going to say no. They're not going to explain to you why it's a no. They're just going to say no. And you're just left scratching your head saying, but why? And so, and this is where realistic comes into play. Realistically, if the prospect thinks that what you're offering them isn't any good, or it's the same as what they're doing or getting right now, most of the time they're not going to say, I'm already getting that right now from another realtor. They're not going to say, I'm already getting that right now from a couple of different websites. What they're going to say in the real world is, no thanks. Right? That's it. They're just going to say no. And so this is why we've got to do a really thorough, careful job of describing how what we're proposing is better than anything else they could possibly be doing. And the way to do that is by painting the picture of what this will look like.
Yeah,
no?
I was
so
told,
anyway, really,
sorry about that, James. I was told by Todd to emphasize all real estate companies.
Absolutely. All real estate companies and every day. See, to me, I think that's vital, but the part that I think is more important is these are properties that come on the market on a daily basis, and if any of those properties that come on the market match what you're looking for, they're going to be sitting in your email inbox. I mean, really, that's the long and short of it. They're sitting in you don't search for them, they search for you. They're sitting in your email inbox waiting for you. You don't ever search for anything ever again. They're sitting there waiting for you. Properties, in some cases that you would never find on your own, they're going to be sitting in your email inbox the second they come on the market waiting for you. It's free. There's no obligation. Would you like to have properties sitting waiting for you in your email inbox the second they come on the market? Yes or no?
Obviously,
yes.
When
you put it that way, it sounds pretty good, right?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. Thanks, Victor. Appreciate the volunteering.
You're welcome. Appreciate it, James.
All right, Andrea, who's next?
Our next guest is Adele Langdon. Your mic is now open.
Oh, good morning, James and Andrea. Can you hear me?
Hi, Adele.
Hi.
I can.
Okay, great.
Good morning. Good morning. What would you like to do today?
A seller. I'm just starting to do sellers, so. And you.
All right. And what did the seller respond to?
A home evaluation.
Okay. Hopefully we don't have any problems with your connection, but you are kind of fading in and out, so we'll give it a try. So ring. Hello.
Hi, is James there?
Yeah, this is James. Who's this?
Oh, hi, James. This is Adele Langdon with Exclusive Realty, and the reason I'm calling is I got your request for a home evaluation, and I just wanted to let you know that I did just send that out to you. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Who did you say you were again?
Oh, I'm sorry. This is Adele Langdon with Exclusive Realty, and I was just letting you know that the reason I called you is I got your request for a home evaluation, and I just wanted to let you know that I have sent that out to you. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting a realtor to call me, but that's okay.
Yeah, well, were you planning on making a move in the next 3 to 6 months, James?
I was thinking about it. Yeah, we're looking around.
And if you were to move, would you want to stay in the area, or were you thinking of moving out of the area?
No, we'd be staying in the area. We're looking at. We're open to a couple different neighborhoods, different properties, stuff like that. But yeah, no, we're not moving out of state or anything like that.
Oh, great. Now, when do you think that might be?
We're just looking around. When we find the right property, we'll do it.
Great. And do you have a realtor to help you when the time is right, James?
Yeah, we've got a couple realtors. One of them actually gave us a home evaluation about a month ago. So they've kept in touch with us a bit. So yeah, when we're ready, we'll probably interview a couple of different realtors.
Okay. And would you prefer to buy before listing your home, or would you want to look around first for homes? Would you want to list your home
We'll
first?
probably, well, we have been looking around, so we'll probably, we'll continue to look around. Um, and you know what, when it gets a little closer, we'll see, we'll probably get our home on the market, and we'll probably, do it all at once. I mean, we don't want to get stuck selling our home and not having anything to buy. So that's sort of a bit of a dilemma, but I'm sure we'll find something that we like eventually here.
So you'd be comfortable with doing both at the same time then?
Yes. Yeah. Well, yes, that's kind of right.
Okay. Well, would you like a free market evaluation to determine what your home would sell for? And also I can give you some tips, James, on what to do and most importantly, what not to do in order to get your home sold for the most amount of money. I can also go over some various closing costs that you might have so you'd know exactly what you'd have left in your pocket after all the expenses. Now, James, it's free service. You're not obligated to do anything. Do you think that that would be helpful for you?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that would be great. I don't know how much different it will be than the other realtor, but I guess the more info, the better.
Yeah, well, you know, things do change from month to month in real estate, and it's a good time to look at, look it over and see what we can do for you. Now, are you available days or evenings?
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there, Adele, because here's the suggestion I'm going to make, okay? At that point, what you want to now do is pivot, and you want to make me the buyer offer. Okay, so just picture this. While we're together, okay, while I'm at your home, what can you also set me up on? What could you set me up on while we're together? So explain that. Just all right.
Okay.
So I'm the prospect. What would you say?
Okay, well, while I'm at your house, what I can do is take down exactly what you're looking for, as what your buying needs are, and we can, okay, so wait a minute, I'm screwed up here. So you're saying go into the buying offer.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. While we're together, what I can also do for you is take down your criteria, determine what you're looking for.
I can take down your criteria and determine what you're looking for, and also what my list will include any bank foreclosures, company-owned properties, and other distress sales. And of course, this also is a free service. I can set you up on that, so all of the homes that you're looking for will come into your inbox every day. And this would be as soon as they come on the market, all the hot properties. So I think, would that be helpful to you also?
Yeah, no, it absolutely would.
Great, so I look forward
to here's what you're doing, Adele.
Okay.
What you're doing is you're making it really, really attractive for me to book this appointment, because what you're telling me is we're going to do two things at this appointment. Okay, number one, I'm going to take a look at your property, and I'm going to give you a really accurate idea of value, and I'm going to point out some helpful tips to make it worth more money. What we're also going to do is I'm going to sit down and we're going to take down exactly what you're looking for so that every day I can email you all the properties that match exactly what you're looking for from all the real estate companies. It's absolutely free. There's no obligation to buy anything, but it'll help you find what you guys are looking for. So we can do that all together. It's all free. There's no obligation, and I'm flexible. And you book the appointment.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you that it is not uncommon that when you have a seller who's buying in the area, you're almost always going to make that 2-in-1 offer. Okay, so we'll call that a 2-in-1 offer. Here's the criteria for the 2-in-1 offer. When you have a seller that is also buying and staying in the area, make the 2-in-1 offer.
Okay.
And because here's the deal, they will take you up on the appointment. And now here's the thing, I don't think that this prospect is ready to list their home. So when you come over to their home tomorrow night, you're not listing it for sale. I don't think they're ready to put their home on the market yet. But I'll tell you what they are ready to do. You know what that is? Sign a buyer agency with you to help them find a home.
Right, and then I'm at least in there helping them.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep, exactly. So anyway, so work on that, but that was very, very well done.
Okay, thank you so much. That's very helpful.
Excellent. Okay, Andrea, do we have any chat questions that I can address before we wrap it up here for this morning?
We do. Alex says, hi, how would you handle someone who registered on your website and you reach them, but they say they are looking for someone else?
it's just not a. I mean, this is what we were talking about with design calls. Is that in Craig's experience, it doesn't really go anywhere. So, I mean, all you can do is if you reach them, you can say, okay, well, would I be able to help them? If you provide me with their number, or I can provide you with my number, you know, I could help them directly. Would that be okay? Yes or no? You know, I mean, beyond that, there's really not a lot that we can do. Next question.
Okay. Michaela asks, what do you do with leads who don't speak the same language as you? She says she's having trouble getting them to commit to an appointment.
Yeah, that's really tough. You know what? Hopefully it's the exception, not the rule. You know, but you know, unless you know of another realtor, I mean, if it gets to the point where they really you don't understand each other at all, what you want to do is find another realtor that speaks their language. You know, because it is the exception, and just and refer it. You know, just refer it to another realtor that speaks their language. That's the best thing that you can do. I'm not going to suggest that you learn their language. Right? I mean, that's what other alternative is there? Speak slowly? I don't know. Here's the deal. Find another agent that you know that speaks the language they speak and refer them to that agent and collect a 25%, 30% referral fee, whatever it is. All right, let's take one more for this morning, Andrea, and I want to remind everybody about tomorrow's marketing clinic and make sure that everybody has ads that they're going to send in for Craig to critique on tomorrow's session.
Our final question comes from Gary. How would you handle the other realtor offers a rebate objection?
Well, in the presence of value, cost is not an issue. I mean, there will always be a realtor that is willing to do it for free, right? That's why we have a presentation, right? The reason we have a presentation is because when you are able to share performance guarantees, service USPs, statistical USPs, it shows that not all realtors are the same. And it shows that not all realtors get the same results. So when you show the average list to sales price ratio in the marketplace, and you show that on average realtors get 96% of asking price and you get 101% of asking price, it makes a big difference to the seller. So we don't walk into the presentation and say, oh yeah, look, we're the same as them, but we charge more. We have a presentation that clearly shows that what we do is different and better and yields a better result than what the average agent does. Especially a discounter, an agent that's willing to work for free is not going to do anything, to certainly nothing special to get your home sold. Listen, when it comes to things that are important, people would rather hire an expert and pay a little bit more money. If you needed surgery, you're not looking for a hobbyist because you want to save a little bit of money and get a rebate. You're just not going to. If you're getting laser eye surgery, you do not search for the cheapest, right? Well, your vision is very important. Surgery is very important. But buying and selling real estate, your largest financial asset of your life, is also important. We are looking, if given the option, anybody would prefer an expert handle that. And we don't have to pay an expert way more money. We only have to pay an expert a little bit more money. Everybody's willing to do that. But we have to prove that we're the expert. How do you do that? In your presentation. Series of performance guarantees. Other agents do not offer any performance guarantee. Do you offer a cancellation guarantee? Do you offer any kind of performance? Services. What services do you offer? Do you have a buyers in waiting program that you can show them? Do you, all of your technology that you utilize, all of that is a benefit to the prospective seller. What about statistics? Do you effectively articulate and show statistically the results that you or your company achieve are superior to that of the average in the real estate board? If you're not doing those things, then yes, it appears you're the same as everybody else. And if you're the same, I go with the cheapest. If all things are equal, I go with the cheapest. The idea isn't to be the same and cheaper. The idea is to be better and more expensive because people are willing to pay more to get more. Okay, thank you all so very much for participating. But I do want to remind you before you sign off, tomorrow Craig is conducting our marketing session, our ad clinic session. So send in your ads. Upload anything that you're doing that you'd like Craig to take a look at, good or bad, and we'll have a great session tomorrow. Thank you so much, Andrea, for your help as well today.
Thank you, James. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a great afternoon and talk to you all tomorrow.